Help the boss hide evidence of his affair? Sure. Years ago I lived in a small town with less than 10,000 people. Everyone knows everyone. And since they all went to the same kindergarten, elementary school, and high school, most of them end up marrying each other too. Yup. It's that small. I moved there for the adventure. Something about the wilderness, I suppose. I was a single guy and I also didn't know any better. It would be fun, right? Little does one know a small town with only one industry that attracts mostly transient population of men working 10 on, 4 off and living in camp must be the definition of fun. I still don't know why I did it. Or why I stayed for so long. Small towns are like black holes. Once you are sucked in, it's hard to leave. There is a story I heard about this town. There are 3 women for every guy in this town. So you're a lucky SOAB. If you've spent every Friday night at the only pub, you will eventually realize it's the same 3 women for every man. Like I said, because everyone knows everyone, it's inevitable some of them are fucking each other, regardless of their marital statuses. My boss owns a business and he flies out of the town often to the next biggest city because that's where his family lives and where the children go to school. There is no way in hell would his kids grow up with these bumpkins. He says the wife can't stand the town but would come and stay the week or even weekends every now and then. On some weekends, though, she would be in town. But he would have to go away on business. One weekend on my days off, I got an urgent call from my boss who says he was out of town. But he needed me to quickly go into his home to help him retrieve something. He says, "Go through the basement door. It should be unlocked. Grab my laptop and all the receipts on the desk. If anyone approaches you, just be cool and pretend you belong there. Be quick and quiet. Want me to break into your house and grab properties that don't belong to me?" Anything for you, boss. As you can see, I really needed the job. I pulled up near the house but parked further away. I surveyed the surroundings, took a deep breath, and walked quickly to the side of the house where the basement door is. Lo and behold, the basement door is unlocked. The muscle dog is in the backyard and could see me, but didn't bark. How useful to have a guard dog that doesn't bark. I entered the basement and sure enough there was a laptop that was plugged in and unlocked. And a Ziploc bag with receipts. At this point I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But they are fancy restaurant receipts, concert receipts, and receipts for hotel stays. Before I closed the laptop lid, I saw the thumbnails of the picture folder. Everything now makes sense. Then, I heard a female voice from upstairs. So I shoved everything on the desk into a bag and booked it. Now, I was trying to be ninja sneaky on my exit. But the damn dog barked. I must have looked extra flustered when I looked back at the house and saw my boss's wife staring at me from behind the window. Shit. I drove straight home and took a long shower. My heart was pounding so fast I probably forgot I couldn't remove fingerprints from my boss's home. This way, hopefully she didn't recognize me. My phone must have been going off the whole time because it was ringing when I got out of the shower. My boss asked, "Did you get it?" Quote, "I did, but your wife saw me." "Did she say anything?" Quote, "She only saw me as I was leaving. From a distance." "Okay, this is what I want you to do. Drop this off at my office. Put it into the drawer. I will deal with this next Monday." "Sure. I think I know what this is about and I won't say anything. But are you sure this is a good idea?" Quote, "Just do as I say, okay." Quote, "At this point, I think it's been at least half an hour since I was at the basement. I drove to the office and there were cars parked outside. It's a 24/7 operation after all. As I entered the office, I saw one of the operations supervisors, who asked if I was working weekends again. And I said yes. I moved quickly down the hallway and made a turn into my boss's office. The boss's wife was there in his office, in his chair, arm crossed, and looked pissed. She said that she could call the police, or I could tell her what I was doing at her house. In the end, she will get the answer. She saw the grocery store bag I was holding onto and asked me what it was. At this point, I told her that I was told to bring this here and I need to put this into the drawer next to where she's sitting. I placed the package and left. Then texted my boss that the deed is done. Great job. Next Monday, the shit hit the fan. I guess the boss's wife must have guessed the password to the laptop. I never got fired for what I did. After all, I did everything to AT. It was a tough next few months though, as the boss and his wife worked through their divorce. The company ended up going into receivership, and everyone got laid off, including me. After years at this small town, I finally found a way and motivation to finally leave. Note: for those who read 10,000 people, and not less than 10,000. Note that this is actually much less than 10,000. There is only one store and one pub after all. I grew up in a small town in New England. Population at the time was about 5,000. We had built and moved into our house about a year before our neighbor across the road built their house and were in the process of moving out from the Midwest. Let's call them Mr. and Mrs. Wisconsin. Mr. and Mrs. Wisconsin and their 5 children arrived and moved in. Mrs. Wisconsin's brother was driving their car from Wisconsin as his company had moved to them and flown the family out. The Wisconsins had lived there no more than a week or so. Not knowing the address, Mrs. Wisconsin's brother pulled into the center of the town and walked into the library. He asked the librarian where our street was. She replied, "Oh, you must be Mrs. Wisconsin's brother." Quote, "Did you at least make Employee of the Week?" Well, that was a roller coaster ride. I can't get over the fact that her reaction to someone sneaking into her home and nicking her husband's laptop was to go to his office and wait. Yeah, she knew something was up. Jesus, this sounds exactly like the town I moved to right out of college. I thought where I grew up was small. This place was the definition of hillbilly hell. I've lived in the small towns a couple times. Less than 5000. Everything you said is spot on. From not being able to get out, I did, to everyone being all up in everyone's business. I don't think you could have played it better in the office with the wife. That's terrifying. My pulse was racing reading it. I lived in a town of 500. Drama. All the time. People crave it. Luckily, that experience turned me off to drama. OP will now be known as Cranston forever. Hubby grew up in a small town about 3,000 people that several generations of his family also lived in. We briefly lived there when we first married. We stopped by the local country department store. Basically a variety of farming stuff. Gas pumps attached McDonald's. We grab some drinks and a few items. He tells the teenage cashier to put this on my account. I'm expecting him to pull out a card or ID. Nope, and nothing to sign. I was amazed. He got a kick out of my confusion. He said only a problem he'd ever heard was when one relative had some charges from another's on their account and that got straightened easily. I used to live in a small town, but now it feels more like a city compared to the place I'm in now. I was chatting to one of my neighbors, and about 3 hours in I was running low on small talk. I joked that he should spread a rumor that I was rich so I could get a girlfriend here. Anyway, a few days later another of the neighbors greeted me, "Hello, Rich." Some miscommunication happened somewhere along that game of telephone. Mark, is that you? Grew up in a town of less than 700 people. My dad was mayor at one point. And fire chief. Owner of third largest company. Everyone knew everyone. Getting out of town for holidays took 45 minutes for a town not a mile across, because he would stop in the road to talk to everyone who drove past. Creedence has a song about a small town, Lodi. You could have gone to jail, dude. Good thing it, at least kinda, worked out for you in the end. Excellent story, 10 out of 10. I hope she appreciated your diligence in following your orders to the letter. Haha. I just watched the premiere of the new Dexter. So as I read your story I pictured Michael C. Hall doing all this. Big cities next to small towns experience the black hole effect by proximity as well. Ask me how I know. Always remember to keep any receipts that may provide proof of your infidelity. Y'all try living in a town of 973 people. You just think y'all know each other. I can name almost everyone in my hometown. And they all know who everyone is. It's insane. There is only one store and one pub after all. There is only one pub. It's a mile long.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.